to ChiroSecure's Empowering Women in Chiropractic, the Facebook Live show for successful women by successful women, proving once again women make it happen. Join us each week as we bring you the best in business growth, practice management, social media marketing, networking, leadership, and lots more. If it's about women in practice and business, you'll hear it here. Now join today's host, Dr. Julie McLaughlin, as she talks learning, living, and teaching. And now, here's Dr. Julie.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to ChiroSecure's Empowering Women. I am so excited you are here today. We have an awesome guest. But first, I want you to know this is a live show. This is not recorded. And so I want you all to show some love, some little hearts, likes on the Facebook page for ChiroSecure, because they are sponsoring us and they are helping us not only with our malpractice and our insurance needs, but they are really, really supporting our profession, educating us, sharing their knowledge, and they are a great, great asset. So let's everybody like ChiroSecure and be sure to check out their page, because I know this is simulcasting across lots of different Facebook pages, but go on to ChiroSecure's page and be sure to like their page, because we have all kinds of these live free events. And I don't want you to miss out on anything. So I would like to introduce our guest today. Her name is Dr. Melissa Grill Petersen. I had the pleasure of meeting her personally a couple weeks ago, and when we were at another event speaking. And so she is here today, and she is going to tell you how to help more, earn more, and work less. And we are going to talk about scaling, how you can do that to scale your practice. So welcome, Melissa, and I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you so much, Julie. This is absolutely a joy and a pleasure. And thank you to ChiroSecure for making this possible for us today. Can't wait to share some knowledge.
Awesome, awesome. So what does it mean when we talk about scaling virtually? What does that mean? And what are your secrets that you have that can work towards that?
Sure. So I think it's important first to start with scaling. So before we even think virtually, really isolating that term. And the easiest way to think about it is, how can you work smarter versus harder? How can you build upon what's already working in your business with your ideal client and serving their needs in a way that allows you to leverage that for greater profitability, as well as retention, revenue, and really building that kind of loyal tribe is what I like to think about it, creating that lifetime patient. And, you know, I've been in practice for over 20 years, and really for about 15 of those years, I've been consulting on every variety and size in the integrative health and wellness space, from chiropractic offices to integrative medical spas, even into the land of primary care. And so I've seen a lot. So in healthcare, there's still the same pattern of, we've got people coming to us needing help. And it really doesn't matter what type of title we have. Business is business is business. And when we can understand how to think like business people as well as service, people, then we can really leverage what I like to refer to kind of as our superpowers and our super strengths, so that we can have both the practice and the life that we love. Because for many of us, it's way lopsided, and that causes a lot of challenges.
Right. Exactly. I mean, it is that whole work-life balance. And when we are running our own practices and doing this, we tend to definitely, you need to have that income. You need to take care of your patients. And that's kind of, in your face. And then some other things slip, and healthcare providers across the board are notorious for that, where you can't balance it. So having a way to balance all of that and really make it work is super, super important.
Yes, and especially for us as female providers, right? Because we already will tend to have to give love, to serve to everyone except for ourselves. And so we really see a tendency for female practitioners to have what I would like to call kind of leaky boundaries, where we're really not honoring our time that we spend with our patients, our time that we spend for ourselves, our time that we spend with our families, our times that we spend with our teams to grow our businesses. And so we really have to look at those buckets. And when you ask what are some of my secrets to success, I really like to think of, okay, let's first pull back, right? And let's understand that our business is just like a patient, meaning it is a living, breathing entity. And there are, just like we have systems, right, that we look at chiropractically or from a health lens of how we're going to help them improve, heal, and thrive and optimize, we have to do the same thing for our business. And so step one is let's come up here and let's look. And let's realize that there's several buckets, right? So I like to say, first, we got to know how to get them, how to get our right ideal patient. And we need to realize not everyone is our ideal patient.
Absolutely.
And that's where a lot of people get stuck. We're not talking about that today so much. Maybe that's a future conversation, but where people really, they imbalance their energy and their focus because they think, I got to get more, I got to get more, I got to get more. And they're attracting the wrong ones in. That's then creating a really kind of a backlog, a bottleneck in the practice, because you feel you have to do all this work to educate and to sell and to prove why what you're doing matters and works. And it's not that at all, and so we have to really shift our perspective and think like business people and realize we got to know how to get them, but then we got to know how, and I don't mean to offend people by my language. We got to know how to get them, how to close them, because there is a sales aspect. And if we're not recognizing as business owners that there is an actual exchange of value, if we're missing that, then right there, our businesses are tanked. So we have to understand our own value and how to look at that piece of the process, and then how to keep them. So how do we treat them to keep them? And so we go into how do we keep them? Well, we've got to make sure that we're actually meeting and exceeding their wants and needs. And one of the big challenges, Dr. Julie, is that so many of us, we're the doctor, right? And people are coming up to us to help them. To fix them. And so we're like, well, they want me to fix them. And so it's what I think and what I see. And it's not that at all. So we forget the essential ingredient to a profitable and purpose-driven practice is to truly understand it's not about what we want. It's not about what we think. It's about understanding that our clients, our patients, they are the hero and the heroine in the story. And we have to look through their mindset, their emotions, their perspective. And then from there, we can look at our practice. We can look at our experience. We can look at our processes and say, are we meeting and exceeding, or are we not hitting the mark? And so that's kind of foundational. And I want to build on from there, but in case you've got a thought or a question before I kind of build on to the next step, I'll take a pause.
I think it is super, super important. And that's how we build, if you will, family practice where the entire family, the mother, the father, the kids, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, and that they come and they are part of your practice and they become part of your practice family over generations and years. I know in my practice, my first patient ever in practice 30 years ago still comes in. Her husband comes in. So it grows because you're meeting their needs and you're giving them that care that helps them sustain their health throughout their lifetime, as opposed to just fixing, I have a, hurt neck, or I have, because then you're just being an aspirin, right?
Right, exactly. So it is understanding that there is a much bigger picture, and there's a life cycle, there's a relationship, there's a story, right? And there's a real opportunity to connect and add value beyond just a single service. And yet, and I'm glad you just said that, because the other slippery slope is that's the dream, right? Like, okay, beautiful. We want to create a thriving, beautiful practice where we are seeing families throughout the course and they are a lifetime patient. So level one is we have to make sure we've got the right foundation, right? Get them, close them, and keep them, that we have that. And then when we start to say about scaling, because the next big challenge that we have, great, and you and I spoke about this 2 weeks ago, great, I've got that practice. And yet, what's my exit strategy? How do I have some freedom beyond my practice? How could I take a 4-day weekend? How could I think about actually working 2 days a week? Because there becomes that tipping point that, and this is where I say that things get out of balance for us, especially as female providers, is so much of our joy and our passion and our identity is in delivering that service. And yet we feel conflicted when we want to go take a vacation with our family. We want to have a day off to go, just go do a retreat, to be silent, to have a PJ day, whatever we need to do so that there is that balance. And so this is where the concept of scaling and now leveraging the virtual digital space becomes very, very powerful. And while in some regards I see chiropractors as early adopters to this, I'm also seeing many that are just leaving huge opportunities on the table. They're completely missing them because they're just staying very focused in what they do. And so I think the biggest thing I could help people to understand today is healthcare is changing 100%. And just like we're here all virtual and digital today to have conversations to help one another, this is what our clients are wanting more of. And so I like to say, if we're going to start to think about scaling virtually, there's kind of a 3-step process. I call it one product, one program, and one platform. So for the reason they're already coming to see you, what is one product that you could stack on that they can do away from your office? Because they come in, they get great care, and then they leave and they go back to their day-to-day environment. When they go back to their day-to-day environment, that's the environment that is subluxated. That's the environment that's out of balance and that's creating all that dysfunction that's going to send them back into your office. And while that may be good for your bottom line, that's not actually good for them. And they don't actually learn how to become an active participant in their health. So think, what's one thing that I could start them on that could also be a revenue generator for me? So that's why I say think one product, just something simple that's easy to get compliance on and will produce a result, a supportive result to their healing protocol. Step 2 is what's a program? So people are already coming in for chiropractic. So again, what's a program? Let's start to think lifestyle that will support what we're doing in our practice outside of the practice. So that's the visit beyond the visit is what I call that. And so there's lots of 30-day programs. You don't, depending on how you all run your practices, 30 days are easy to start, even sometimes just a 7-day. And there's a lot, we talk all about this over at Practice Impact Masters. And then when I say one platform, and Dr. Julie, you've got a great example of this. One platform is saying, all right, how can I build kind of a virtual business, a virtual platform where people can engage? They can engage in value-based content. They can engage in the supportive solutions that will help them outside of my practice, and they can buy stuff, right? They can buy the things that I have vetted. So whether it's buying a program that they can do and engage in from their phones or from their tablets, whether it's buying products, it's giving them a space where you're now curating a platform that will become a revenue generating machine so that you have an exit plan, so you can take long weekends, so that you can reclaim some balance and truly build the practice and life you love.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. And I know because of 30 years of practice that it's hard on your body. It's physically, challenging. And I'm doing, full spine, adjusting manual. And so you do need that transition. And that's why I've built platforms for both the docs to learn how to do things more virtually. And then on the patient side, the nutrition, the lifestyle, and it's worked beautifully because we need to learn how to do it. And I think that's what you do a great job at doing. Also getting them to learn how to do it, but then have something for that patient that's going to better their life. And at the end of the day, sometimes I think that they come in and they're on fire. Your patient's just on fire and you're the fire extinguisher. You put them out, but then they go back into the blaze. So if you can provide them something back where that fire is to continue to keep the embers down, they're going to be a lot better. So
absolutely.
I mean, we could talk about this, you know, for hours and hours because there's so much into it. And I know that you have a whole program that you help docs understand this, and that you have helped them, because sometimes it's overwhelming of like, how do I even do this? Where do I start? And so that's an excellent starting place.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm trying to be mindful to time, because I'm like, I want to go into more stuff, but yes. So we do over at Practice Impact Masters, you know, we do strategic business and development coaching to help our docs identify. A lot of times they don't even know what their ideal client really is, because they've been giving and loving and serving for so long and helping everybody. And I tell people, just because we can doesn't mean that we should, you know, so it's understanding what our value as providers.
Right. So I agree. I am so appreciate what you're doing, Melissa. And I don't know, I think our screen is a little frozen here. I don't know.
It's got to be a mutual exchange. It's got to be a beautiful exchange. So we do a lot of our Practice Impact Masters, everything from turnkey solutions that are already done for them so they can plug and play really easily, as well as giving that very strategic guidance and advice so they know right where to go and have an actionable plan to say, oh, I'm going to do A and then B and then C. Got it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we got to wrap it up. So do you have a website that they could reach you at?
Absolutely. Yes. So it's www.practiceimpactmasters.com. So Practice Impact Masters with an S.com. And I'd love to have everybody come on over there, you know, and any way that I can help you, I'm here. I love what we do. You know, Dr. Julie, you and I are so kindred spirits, just like the whole platform with ChiroSecure is about really serving, right? Serving our peers, our profession, and helping each of us to truly scale, grow, and thrive, because we're meant to have the business and life we love. So thank you guys so much for having me today.
Well, thank you for coming on, and thank you, ChiroSecure. You guys are awesome. So now, everyone, I want you to make sure that you tune in next week, same time, Eastern time, at 1 o'clock, because we're going to have Monica Berger, and Monica, Dr. Monica Berger was with us a couple weeks ago at the same event we spoke at, and she is going to be doing her pediatric show, so you absolutely do not want to miss that. And everyone have wonderful holidays, and I will see you in the new year. So thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Join us each week as we bring you the best in business growth, practice management, social media marketing, networking, leadership, and lots more. If it's about women in practice and business, you'll hear it here. We hope you enjoyed this week's Facebook Live event. Please like us on Facebook, comment, and share. We look forward to seeing all of you next week for another episode of Empowering Women in Chiropractic. Now, go ahead and hit the share button and tell your friends and colleagues about the show. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. This has been a ChiroSecure production.